brand die eieren van.
Ik probeer voor dat het nog alles in de slag doet. Ik heb het echt super baie olie. Het mag mooi eten. I've never had a really long list of races that I wanted to do. Just because races are usually expensive and there's a lot of things that have to go into them, so I only do things that are on a whim. But Otter has always been on the top, right at the top. When I started running, I got bored of road running really quickly. Someone at my office actually told me about Ryan Sands. I ended up Googling him a bit and doing some research, and I actually discovered trail running through him. I bought his book, Trailblazer, and I related to it quite a lot with regards to how he just started running not as too serious a subject, and then also where it wasn't really his job at the end of the day. It wasn't as important to him anymore. All he really wanted to do was run, and that's how I felt. So he did lots of long distance things, and I thought that if he can do hard things like that, then why can't I? So that's what the Otter has always been. In hindsight, it's always been this one hard thing that I've always really wanted to do, but it's always been a little bit out of reach. The entry fee is quite expensive, and traveling there, getting accommodation, training for it, everything always just felt like it was just such a big risk to take. In school, we had a hiking group, and we've always talked about doing the Otter. Not running it, but definitely hiking it, and it was something that ended up never happening. So now being able to run it would be, I think, much more fun. Walking has gotten a little bit boring for me now. I met my husband, we started dating and everything, and things got more serious. We got married, and then we had Paul, and now we're pregnant again. So then the responsibilities just got more and more, so you end up it just got doing the Otter just got more and more put to the side, because it just became a bigger risk, because now I have so many other responsibilities to do. I'm not just a single person that can go off running into the woods and the mountains. I have to consider everybody else in the family, and but I don't know, it just has always stayed as something that I would have wanted to do. The past 2 years have been both really hard for me and also very amazing, mixed with different things that happened in our lives that impacted us quite intensely. I found out I was pregnant, and it was a bit of a surprise, but everything was fine. We still want to have a family, so everything worked out perfectly. I was just mainly focusing on only my running, and I was happy in that space. I wasn't very happy at my job, so running was the one place where I felt happy. And I was looking for a new job and trying to get closer to home and not have to travel so far. Ended up now being pregnant. I felt like now I'm stuck. Like now I can't get out of here. Now there's no more risks. I can't just job hop and do whatever I want, because financially I literally need the job. It made it quite difficult and stressful just to cope with the idea of having a baby, but this and everything all together. So it was quite a roller coaster of up and down emotions. So I tried really hard throughout my first pregnancy to keep on running and keep on training. It was the one thing that really helped me clear my head and stayed focused and stayed calm and not freak out as much. So, and it was also really great. I was also very nervous being an Essex front runner. Would they pick me again? I have this big belly now, and but they stuck with me and they supported me all the way. So I was very happy with that, and even now through my second pregnancy as well. So the first year after Paul was born was a little bit rough on us. He was born with a very rare defect. He had about 7 procedures before the age of 1 year old, and we were in and out of the hospital, doctors' rooms, and that also made everything a lot more challenging, trying to train and still focus on running as well as the family and everything else. So I decided that I needed a goal to keep my focus straight, and to kind of help me work through everything. Otherwise, it was just too easy to rather not go for a run or not keep on training. So I decided to do Lesotho Ultra, and it would have been my hardest and longest, the furthest run ever. I did the 38 kilometer, and it was hard training for it, and it hurt a lot, and but it was also one of the most rewarding things at the end, to be able to say I did this despite everything. After that, I was invited by ASICS to go run Paris Marathon, which was not something I've ever literally wanted to do necessarily. I like staying put, not necessarily traveling as much. We went there and I did Paris Marathon. It was also a hard race for me, and enjoyed it a lot. It was a great experience, and it was also just one of the things that also proved to me, but why not? Why not go further? Why, after Lesotho, after having a baby, Lesotho and Paris, what's next? You can do anything you want to. This whole event is definitely going to impact my family. My husband helps me a lot with Paul. He's very hands-on and everything. But adding another baby into the mix, I don't know what that's going to look like. So I'm pretty unsure of what's going to come.
The Otter is regarded by many as one of the most iconic hiking trails in South Africa, and we're very privileged and grateful to have the opportunity to participate. I'm quite concerned about a very early commitment to this race, as we do not really know how this pregnancy will turn out. Jani ran Lesotho Ultra in a similar time frame after giving birth. Therefore, although challenging, I believe she would be able to complete the Otter within the cut-off time of 8 hours. When comparing Lesotho Ultra to the Otter, Lesotho Ultra was 38 kilometers with one big climb and descent, with a total elevation climb of 1,700 meters. The Otter is 45 kilometers with many less extensive climbs, ranging between 50 meters and 100 meters or more, with a total elevation gain of 2,600 meters, but also includes 4 river crossings. For me, training will mean looking after the kids. I'm not too worried.
When I'm training, a lot of the time goes to training, and a lot less of the time goes to cleaning the house. So training and having 2 kids is definitely going to mean a messier house, a lot less prioritizing things around the house, and just focusing on all the important things, making sure everyone's fed and has enough sleep, and that I can go for a run. I decided to do this race 7 months postpartum, mainly because I need a commitment. I need something to keep me on track, to keep me to run. I think a lot of moms have their babies and then they feel like this is it. This is the end of it, and all the responsibilities and time now goes to the family and everything, and that the things that they previously loved doing is not really on top of the list anymore. And I think for me, that's the reason why I decided to commit to this, to take on this big challenge of saying I'm going to do this, even though it's going to hurt and it's going to be hard, but it's the only way I'm going to stay on track, to still do the things that I love and not just say this is it, I'm not just a mom. The big plan for this pregnancy was to continue training like I did with my first pregnancy. I continued running up until 37 weeks pregnant, after which it was just too uncomfortable, so I stopped. This pregnancy has been a lot harder. It has not been the same at all as my previous pregnancy. I've had to stop running much earlier. I've get quite a bad, annoying pain, which kind of sends alarm bells. So I've had to try and figure out different ways to train, to keep fit and keep busy, because I'm not able to run as much. After which my doctor also said that she thinks it's better if I just take it a little bit easier. I also think it's a little bit different being pregnant and having a toddler than just being pregnant. So that also has quite an influence on things. So the big plan is basically to continue some strength training, maybe get into some swimming, low impact exercises, and then hopefully I can try and catch up as much as I can after giving birth.